Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Robocraft with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome back to Factory Fun. In today's episode, we are testing out the Twig, a very fast medic with plasmas and Tesla as secondary. I think it's pretty ugly, but looks don't matter anyway. Honestly speaking, I don't think it looks absolutely terrible. It's not going to win any awards for prettiest robot, but it could look a hell of a lot worse. I'm also very happy to see A, a cruiser, because no one uses cruisers at the moment, and B, a medic-focused cruiser. This is a very weird combination which I haven't seen in quite a while. So of course we're going to be purchasing it with the full Forge cost, and then we're going to go straight into Team Deathmatch. The comments which suggested this robot suggested to only play this robot in Team Deathmatch, so we'll do that twice to give a final verdict. That was the wrong one. That's the correct one. Well done, Lathrix. Into the first battle we go. Now, before I queued up, I did quickly check as to what type of weapons we are currently using. We are using the largest variant of all of the weapons available. So we are indeed using the Plasma Devastator and the Nano Constructor, I believe it's called. Either way, it's the largest one. Let's hoping you two may actually fight the enemies there, but apparently we're just running away. Turning, not the strong point of this robot, honestly. Though saying that, perhaps if I weren't constantly moving forwards. He's going to die, and I can't really do much about that. Controlling cruisers, not my strong point. You both get healed. I knew there was something there, I heard it, but I honestly assumed it was my ally because it was taking so long to hit me. That was a very buggy Tesla. Now I can't turn. Focusing a little bit too much on just controlling the spot, to be perfectly honest, so commentating may be a bit slower than usual. Not that it's normally particularly quick. It's certainly a fast robot. Oh, there he is. Can't shoot backwards, but it will allow me to fire, which is quite annoying. Stop. Yeah, turning is fairly difficult. There's the enemy again. No! Some of my back section. Oh, I wanted to Tesla him. That'd have been awesome. No, let's not be greedy. Getting the kill is the most important part there. Just keep my friends healed and everything will be fine. Come back, I wish to heal you. No more shredder for you, sir. Oh, hello. I have a friend behind you there. Oh. On the upside, being so low seems to cause a few issues for him trying to hit me, which is very nice. Turn. I miss being able to turn on the spot. So far, though, despite the fact I'm kind of struggling a little bit just for basic controls, this is not a bad robot. It's more my inexperience with cruisers, more so than anything else being shown here. Tesla, move, thank you. Problem is, I am moving towards their spawn point. On the upside, I did kill the Tesla, though. Oh my god, it's a Cluely ball. Well, it's not quite a Cluely ball, but it's very similar in style. Darn. Almost got away there. Did a fair bit of damage. And we are second place currently. Wow, almost all of the kills are coming from one of the enemies. Don't know why I fired then, honestly. Could have easily snuck in, but nope, we decided to fire. Come on, control, there we go. The constant sliding is the main issue. When I'm trying to turn left and it's still deciding, no, you want to go right. It's a bit jarring. Oh, I just heard the stealth, so it's probably a Tesla nearby. Or our Tesla. I don't actually know if our Tesla has the camo module. Definitely got in his way there. That was my bad. Healer on healer battles, go! Considering smart weapons, I am surprised by how much this... let's heal this guy. It allows me to hit myself. Oh. Can I get one Tesla kill? That's so wrong. It probably is. That's a very good disc shield then. Completely stopped almost all my shots. And we are victorious! Yay! Well, a pretty darn good start, to be honest. So, opinions of the boss. I'm sorry if my commentary was all over the place there. It was a challenge, let's say that, to keep control of the robot. Again, that's more my inexperience. We're going to go into the test mode in a second, just to have a little bit of practice before the next battle. Oh, you ruined the combo. So what do I think of the bot? Style, I'm going to say a 3, although it is very component heavy. I honestly don't think it looks too terrible. In terms of combat, I'm also going to give it a 3 for now. The problem I do have is that when I was being hit, I was breaking not in the best of ways. I saw huge chunks fly off, which completely impeded my controls, and I saw a few other issues. In terms of speed, however, this thing clearly is absolutely fine. I mean, this is on ×1 overclock, and as you can see, it's pretty darn quick. Turning is fairly slow. The turn circle is big, as you can see. Even when I've turned off thrust, it does take a very long time to get a full turn on, so you do have to kind of do 3-point turns when you're trying to go somewhere quickly, which is a bit of an issue, but it's an issue which is native to the cruisers themselves, less so to this particular robot. The defenses of the robot are better than they look, so although I said about things breaking off, they are certainly better than they first appear, and the placement of the weapons is my last gripe, however. The plasmas at the front seriously have some issues where they clip constantly, and the smart weapons are not picking it up, so that is a bit of an issue. Perhaps it's because I'm moving? Let's try to see if I can cause it to clip. There we go. So, smart weapons being not so smart there. The medic weapons themselves, however, are just fine in terms of placement. The Tesla I find very hard to use purely because of the fact you can't turn on the spot, so if you miss even slightly, you're going to have to do a 3-point turn to try and then hit the target. So, overall, for a cruiser, it's a good robot. The problem is, I don't particularly rate cruisers very highly at the moment, so consider that perhaps a bit of bias on my part, but I do feel like, as someone who doesn't normally use cruisers, it isn't a particularly easy robot to get into, and that's kind of what I'm rating there. Although saying that, cruiser wheels are ridiculous now when it comes to climbing. So let's do another team deathmatch. Perhaps my opinions will completely change towards the positive or towards the negative. Let's see. The final battle begins. Now, off camera, I decided to take off the thrusters of this bot to try out the cruiser wheels on their own. I then reattached the thrusters one by one, each time testing it in a test mode. And I've got to say, I still dislike cruiser wheels. It's just, I can't see why you would pick them over some of the other movement types, and it's so hard to distinguish the cruiser controls to the actual robot itself when I'm trying to do a review. So if I ever seem overly critical or overly negative when it comes to a cruiser robot, please bear in mind I am using a movement type which I feel is one of the weakest at the moment, and I feel is easily one of the hardest to get into if you are used to the other types. Okay, stole the kill. I mean, helped out with the kill. Is that a giant block? I mean, I've heard of block spam, but that's ridiculous. Oh, hello. You are not getting back off the ground. I mean, I'm happy that you're on the enemy team. Oh no, you're not a full block. Oh, I feel cheated. Turning, 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 turned. Oh, the turning on this is awful. I think what I need to do is just play random cruisers from the CRF, from the factory, just to see if it is any particular robot, so I can get a better base understanding of cruisers. That way, when I'm trying to review one, I can be a bit more like, oh, well, normal cruisers feel like X, this one feels like slightly deviant from X. Okay, hit him a couple of times, and certainly deterred him. Oh, I kind of missed the bug now where the healing beams weren't taking up energy. It wasn't a long-lasting bug, but it was a lovely bug for anyone who likes playing a healer. Please fire at the guy actually hurting you, not that guy. I have Tesla! There we go. We bumped into... Is that a Mega Leg? I think that might be the Mega variant. No wonder it did no damage. Too much shielding. I'm so happy this guy's on the enemy team. Oh, I wanted to get him with the Tesla. Oh, sliding horribly. There we go, back to having normal controls. Kinda. Back off, thank you. Uh-oh. Okay, I can't back off quickly enough, so you are going to have to walk on top of me there. Mechs and cruisers work pretty well together, since the mech can literally walk on me. There we are. Your gun's gone. Cruiser physics are best physics. What I like is this guy isn't even trying to heal his allies. It's just a matter of he wants to be a nuisance. I almost respect that, because that's really going full troll there. There's absolutely no indication that he gives a crap about his team. I would be a bit more salty if he was on my team, mind you, but since he isn't, I'm going to laugh about it. Oh, I want to go for the Proto Seekers. Funny thing is, I would have lost that fight. No, I didn't lose the plasma. I thought I'd lost the plasma there, but I lost the Tesla instead. That was a pretty all-in move there by that flyer. Must Tesla a flyer? Yes! Yes! A Tesla kill on a flyer! This is the best bot ever. It really isn't a bad robot, that's the thing. I need to keep saying that. This isn't a bad robot, and now I'm starting to think that perhaps a 4 in combat may have been a little bit better. It just... I don't know, it just feels like I would rather be in a hover right now. Or a mech, or pretty much anything, honestly. Let me hit you, thank you. Excuse me, just gonna slide on through. I think I'm reversing too much as well. Healing saves the day again. And team victory. Okay then, so we get first place again thanks to our glorious healing ability. And final opinions on the bot then. It's not bad in any way, it really isn't. All in all, it's a good robot. For a cruiser, it's a good robot, it really is. It takes damage surprisingly well, considering how it looks. I don't think the Tesla's particularly needed. I find that's very difficult to use for a cruiser. I mean, I did get to kill a flyer with it, so it is worth it just for the satisfaction. But I feel like that could perhaps be used in something else. I like the fact it's a medic. It definitely fulfills that role very well. I like the plasma, although I feel like that could be perhaps a little bit better positioned. I do understand he's trying to keep it quite sleek to the floor, which is definitely a big plus when you're doing Team Deathmatch, which was being shown multiple times there in this fight. I just feel like my bias towards cruisers being quite bad came out in the first match, and I do apologise for that. But I just have to say, I would rather be using almost any other movement type in a lot of those situations. I found that the pros of the the natural, quite fast element of the cruiser isn't really being used particularly well here. The sliding is very difficult to handle, particularly for someone who isn't used to cruisers, but other than that, the robot itself is sound. I like the power module. I was out of power almost the entire fight, so clearly that was helping quite a bit, considering it's always giving me extra energy regen. And I feel like with a few tweaks, this will be a really, really good robot. And for a cruiser, it's one of the better cruisers I've played, and now I think about it, I really should have put this as 4 stars rather than 3, so consider my final verdict on the robot a 4 for combat and a 3 for style. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video and would like to see your robot in a future episode of Factory Fun, then of course leaving your username, the robot name, the CPU of the robot, and of course the weapons and movement type always helps out. Let's try that again. I'm keeping that in because I sounded completely out of it just then. If you would like to see your robot in a future episode of Factory Fun, then leave your username, the robot's name, the movement type of the robot, the weapon types of the robot, and of course the CPU of the robot in the comments section below. These are always randomly selected, unless I purposefully say at the start of a video, next episode I will be choosing a cruiser flyer hybrid or something of that ilk. And of course, if you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Robocraft is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Although I've just woke up, I feel like perhaps I should go and take a nap, as I feel very out of it right now. So thank you again for watching, and goodbye.